You wonder why your desire never moves toward you. You imagine it requires stronger belief, greater effort, deeper feeling. But the reason is far simpler. You have placed it above you. The moment something stands above you, you begin to wait for it, hope for it, seek approval from it. And from that position, the distance between you and your desire is already established. The law does not respond to longing. It responds to position. If you approach your desire from beneath it, you will experience pursuit. If you stand as its source, it begins to move. And this is the correction most never make, because they do not notice the position they occupy. You do not make your desire chase you by intensifying your longing. You make it chase you by changing the position from which you relate to it. Most people attempt to secure their desire from beneath it. They ask for it. They wait for it. They hope it will move toward them. And in doing so, they silently confess that it stands above them. As long as you approach what you want as something greater than yourself, you remain subject to it. You measure its absence. You monitor its delay. You interpret its silence. And every one of these movements declares the same thing. I am not the source. The law does not respond to pleading. It does not reward intensity. It does not react to emotional effort. It objectifies the state you occupy. If you occupy the state of one who waits, you will experience waiting. If you occupy the state of one who seeks, you will experience seeking. The desire does not move toward you because you have not moved above it. And that is the position we must correct. The position you occupy quietly creates a hierarchy. That belief alone places it above you. The moment you treat something as a future event, you concede that it is not presently yours. And in that concession, you create a structure in which you stand below what you want. You do not notice this structure because it feels ordinary. It feels reasonable. It feels patient. But it is still a declaration of separation. The law does not respond to reason. It responds to position. If you place yourself beneath the thing desired, you experience yourself as reaching. If you place yourself beside it, you experience negotiation. Only when you place yourself as the source do you cease pursuing. Most men never rise above their own longing. They remain in quiet admiration of what they seek. And admiration is distance. Until the desire no longer stands above you, it cannot move toward you. The order must reverse. The law operates without sentiment. It does not measure effort. It does not calculate worthiness. It simply gives form to the state you occupy. This is why longing never produces possession. Longing is a state, and the law objectifies the state you persist in. To long for something is to occupy the condition of not having it. And the law does not contradict the condition you accept as yourself. It faithfully externalizes it. You cannot rise above a state while secretly remaining identified with it. If you speak of becoming, you remain in becoming. If you speak of someday, you remain in delay. The law translates these internal positions into external fact. To make your desire chase you is not to manipulate it. It is to abandon the lower placement from which you have been relating to it. When you stand as the cause, you do not request. You do not anticipate. You do not measure distance. You assume the fact of being, and the law rearranges itself around that assumption. It is not intensity that moves the world. It is identification. And until you change the position you occupy within yourself, your desire will remain positioned beyond you. To make your desire chase you, the structure must invert. What you have treated as the authority must become the consequence. Consider money. If you say within yourself, I hope this opportunity works, you have already granted the opportunity power over your stability. You have made the condition the judge of your identity. And from that placement, you wait or consider relationship. If you think, I hope they choose me, you have placed their decision above your value. You have silently agreed that your worth is determined externally. In both cases, the hierarchy is the same. The circumstance stands above, you stand beneath. The law faithfully reflects that order. It does not argue with it, it externalizes it. Now reverse it. Instead of hoping the opportunity confirms you, assume you are the source from which opportunity arises. Instead of hoping to be chosen, stand as one who chooses. The inner arrangement changes first. When you no longer relate to your desire as something that must validate you, it loses authority over you. And what has no authority over you cannot remain distant. The world conforms to the position you occupy. If you occupy authorship, events rearrange. If you occupy dependency, events dictate. The reversal is simple, it is internal, and it is decisive. If you would have your desire move toward you, cease relating to it as something that must grant you permission. Nothing stands above you unless you inwardly place it there. Do not attempt to feel powerful. Do not attempt to intensify belief. Correct the structure. That is all. If you desire wealth, stand as one from whom wealth proceeds. If you desire love, stand as one who is not awaiting selection. If you desire success, stand as the author of outcome rather than its applicant. The position you assume determines the response you receive. The law is impersonal. It does not elevate you because you wish. It reflects you because you are. You do not make your desire chase you through force. You make it chase you when it is no longer elevated above your identity. Stand as the cause, remain there, and refuse to descend into petition. What once appeared distant will reorganize around you, not because it favors you, but because it answers to the state you occupy. Now, let us go into the silence.